which sort of unfortunately did for the Twin Pioneer, really, because no, Twin Pioneer's a wonderfully eccentric aeroplane, I think is the way I'd describe it. But you've got to love it, really, and it's the only one still flying in the world. So you know, we have to look after it and keep it going. So it's probably the most unusual one I've flown, I think, to date.
What's next for you with regards to space? The shuttle, the moon, the stars, where?
No, well, one of the reasons I started flying airliners was I rapidly discovered that I couldn't afford to fly bigger aeroplanes unless somebody paid me. So I thought, well, I really can't afford to fly a jet. How do I get to fly a jet? I'll have to get a job. So, and I never actually intended to get a job flying an airliner. I thought I was too old, at 40, 41, something like that, when I got my first jet job as a first officer on a it was on a 757. In fact, it was here at Southend, because my first airline was British World Airlines, and I was with Brit World for about 6 or 7 months until they went bust. I got type rated on the 757. They had one aeroplane which arrived here, and then we went whizzing around in it. It was type rated on the 75, and then on September the 11th, the infamous 9/11, I was actually in New York on the day. I was sitting on the roof of my hotel at 9 o'clock in the morning, reading the tech manual for Boeing 757, waiting to go and get my flight home later on that afternoon. Never did make the flight home, clearly, and I was stuck there for a week. So it was a strange series of coincidences and, you know, horrific ironies, really, that the event that probably sank my airline was, you know, the one that I was partially involved in at the time. But yeah, so I got my first job with us on a 757, and absolutely loved it. I mean, I was a big steep learning curve. Particularly the uniform thing, you know, because I did my first bits of line training. Line training, for those of you who don't know airline speak, you learn to fly an aeroplane, you do all your licenses, then you do more and more checks and more exams and more tests, and you think, surely it must be over with by now. Well, no, you've just begun. Because as soon as you get a job, you have to do the whole lot all over again on one specific kind of aeroplane. When you passed all those, they let you loose flying actual passengers, and they give you a series of on-the-job training with a test at the end of it called a line check. So, because we only had one aeroplane at British World, one 757, and mainly we were flying to West Africa, to Sierra Leone, and there was a war on at the time as well. Yeah, that was quite interesting as well. But, so we were flying there, 6 or 7 hours each way. Because I was a newbie pilot to jets, I had to do a minimum of 40 sectors. Well, it would have taken me years flying 6 or 7 hours each time. So what they did was they did a deal with British Airways. So I went to British Airways for about a month and a half and flew with them as a first officer, doing on-the-line training with real passengers on real 757s out of Heathrow. It's a very common procedure with airlines. They sort of swap guys over because we're all trained to the same standard, theoretically. And I did my training with British Airways flight training. They were the guys that trained me. So there I was doing my first ever trip in uniform. First time I'd ever actually worn a pilot's uniform with the hat as well, which comes in. I've still got the hat, actually. Shh, nobody from British Airways here, is there? They never asked for it back, so keep it in the back pocket. Very popular with the wife. Anyway, to keep her keys in, of course. Anyway, so we do the first sector into Heathrow, and we have a bird strike. And I went, oh, was that a pigeon? No, it was a seagull with a headache. So I think, oh, that was interesting. we go to Munich and we get off for a night stop. So at Munich I get off in my uniform and everything else. And of course, nobody knows that, I mean, I'm still the lead singer from Iron Maiden as well. Nobody knows this sort of funny little thing that's been going on with me becoming a professional airline pilot. So I'm standing at the bus stop, uniform, everything else, waiting for the shuttle bus to take me to the hotel. And this German heavy metal fan, covered in Iron Maiden regalia and everything, just makes a beeline straight for me. And I'm thinking, oh, no, any minute now, any minute now, any minute now. And he goes, excuse me? Yes, but I must know, yes, is this the bus for Munich? So no, I have no idea. I'm not from these parts.